Everybody, we are live again, Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru, and I have two special guests on with me this Sunday evening. I have Mr. Benson and Miss Leah, and they are part of the sixth region of the African Union, and we'll get into what the sixth region is about and what it is. And we're going to discuss. I know everyone knows, unless you've been under a rock, if you keep up with affairs going on after that. Dr. Arikana is no longer with the African Union. Dr. Arikana was the ambassador of the African Union to the U.S. or the Diaspora.
She was the ambassador, the African Union ambassador to the U.S.
Okay. So she was let go. I guess we can get into why she was let go as well. So a lot of people have been asking, well, how's that going to affect the Sixth Region? How's that going to affect the African Union? What's next? Who's going to replace her? What's Dr. Arikana up to? So we'll go ahead and try to address all those questions. Guys, press 1 in the chat if you hear an echo. Press 1 in the chat room if you hear an echo. Because I'm hearing feedback. I don't know if it's my speakers that are. Usually I use my setup. But press 1 in the chat room if you hear feedback or press 1. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass the mic to if you guys can to everyone's pressing your feedback.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Prince Dinas, for having both of us here. My name is Leah Kirkwood. I am one of the Houston leaders for the Region 6 chapter in Houston. And we have Benson. Benson?
Hello, my name is Benson Kasue. I am the chairman of Region 6. Texas actually covers 8 states. So I'm elated, Dr. Prince Dinas, for you letting us have this opportunity to discuss a few of the items you violated.
All right, so we'll jump right into it. Let's see here. Let's get started with why was Dr. Arikana let go?
I'll let Benson talk about that.
Ask that question again. I did not hear you.
Dr. Arikana, there are a lot of rumors circulating on why she was let go. Do we know why she was actually let go?
Dr. Arikana was let go, and I'll let her address that on Friday, this coming weekend, actually Saturday during our convention. But our term had not expired. The masters, the French government did not like how she was addressing certain things that she brought to service the colonization that continues within the African by foreigners, and they were not happy with that. And so really that was the foundation of them wanting her to be. They've been pushing for her removal for a long time, and a window came up, an opening came up, and they went for it. But I will let her she'll be able to address that concern on Saturday during our conference.
Okay. Leah,
yes.
You have to do me a favor. I think you're the one you have headphones because I think that the feedback comes from you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you have a way for me to call in? Rather than talk through the computer?
Yeah, I know you got some headphones around now.
I do, but they're not charged. Bear with me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. All right, Mr. Benson. So let's get into what the sixth region actually is. What is the sixth region, and what role do they play in the African Union?
So, sixth region really represents the diaspora. It represents the U.S. Sixth region diaspora represents you, the African Americans, and me, the Africans. You are considered the first diaspora, and I'm the second diaspora. You came here before I arrived. So you are a part of the sixth region. This has been addressed by our 55 states of heads of Africa, that we are the sixth region, and we have a stake in the continent. So that's who we are.
And guys, allow me to apologize in regards to the. Let's see here.
Testing, testing. Is
Hello,
that
hello,
better?
hello, hello. Leah, we're good. We're good
All
now.
right.
We're good. You got your 18. You got your call center hairpiece. You know, customer service call center hairpiece on. But hey, now we are good now, guys. I apologize about the technical difficulties. I was over here blaming Mr. Benson. Then I
It
put
was
you on
me.
mute, Leah, and I'm like, oh, Leah's the problem. I apologize, everyone, for the technical difficulties, but we are now good on the sound. I apologize. In fact,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do this because the sound was just off. Let's go ahead and start all over.
Okay.
What we'll do, we'll reintroduce. I have you guys reintroduce yourselves again. The topic is we're going to be discussing the future of the African Union post the, I would say, unfortunate and early termination of Dr. Arikana. Uh, Leah, go ahead and introduce yourself, and then Mr. Benson, go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Prince Dinas, for having us on your show. We really appreciate it. My name is Leah Kirkwood. I am one of the Houston leaders for the Region 6 chapter. And we're here to just basically answer some questions and to let you guys know what the upcoming conference is going to be about and some things that are going to be discussed at the upcoming conference this Friday and Saturday. The ambassador will be there to answer questions and to let us know what's next. What's next from this point?
Mhm.
Good evening. My name is Benson Kasue. I'm the chairman of the Region 6 state, Texas State, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody on Saturday. But thank you so much, Prince Danis, for allowing us to be on your platform and discuss some of the questions you may have regarding to Our Excellency Benson Chihombori-Quao and our dismissal and our path forward.
Now, she's actually speaking, I think, tonight in Atlanta, I believe, either or she did yesterday, Dr. Ericana. I'm not sure, but I think she is.
You know, I'm not sure either. I know we've been really busy putting the conference together and making sure it's a success. So, you know, she has a lot of speaking engagements. So she could have been in Atlanta.
So what's next? You know, unfortunately, she's been let go. She's no longer part of the African Union. What's next for the sixth region? And I guess what's next for Dr. Ericana? Because she's been gathering a lot of support. Because obviously the reason why she was terminated, from what we've been told, was wrong. You know, she shouldn't have been terminated. So what's next for the sixth region in the African Union, and what's next for Dr. Ericana? If you guys could speak on that.
The sixth region will continue on. The battle rages on. We belong to the continent, so do you. We are not going to let any intimidation affect us. We're not going to let anybody malign or drag us through the hole and deny us of our rights as people who belong to the continent or you. So this initiative for mobilization of diaspora will continue on. The AU wants, they cannot avoid diaspora. They want us to participate. It's a question of how they want us to participate. We are very valued, and we want somebody who can work with. They cannot quiet our voices. Dr. Arikana spoke a language that we understood. Our
Mhm.
words were our words. Our values are our values. She reflected who we are as a diaspora, and she galvanized all of us with a purpose of mobilizing diaspora to go and develop our own continent. She is gone, but she's staying in DC to continue with the fight, with the work. She's going to be telling us on Saturday what our next move is, but it's going to be very, very good for all of us. She's not going anywhere. We're going to work with that closely, and we're going to work with AU. We just need them to. One apple can spoil a lot of good apples in a basket. We need to eliminate those bad apples within AU and continue to work towards the development of our continent, because we are the only ones who can really be the architect of our own continent. We care more about the continent than anybody else, because that's our house. It's
Mhm.
your house, it's my house, so we belong there. Nobody should be able to chase you from your own home and give them that privilege. No, no, no. Like they say in Swahili, hapana.
Mhm.
I agree with everything Benson just stated. um, the mission will continue to go on. There's a lot of opportunity on the continent of Africa that the African diaspora need to take advantage of, and sometimes there are entities that may not like the mobilization of the African diaspora going to the continent to actually invest and take advantage of those opportunities and uniting us as one. So we definitely plan on continuing with the mission and backing her 110%. So in 2020, you will see more things to come. But this weekend, there will be some things discussed as far as what's next and where things are going.
Now, what tangible, as far as the sixth region, what is the sixth region bringing that's tangible, I would say, to the table that, the diaspora could touch, feel, and see? We've heard about the African Union passport. We hear about all these initiatives, but sometimes, I'll just be honest, the diaspora feels like they are left out. What's going on? Like, what tangible is there for the diaspora?
Well, what's tangible is, like you said, you mentioned the passport, okay? And I'm an African American, and when I went to actually check into, obtaining a passport in a particular country, no one knew anything about it, okay? And so these are some things that, like Benson was saying, the ambassador will continue to present things to the African Union. Just because she's no longer directly affiliated with them, she will continue to present things to them. Passports will be one, citizenship, that type of thing, will be another. But more importantly, there's nothing stopping us from investing
Exactly.
in the continent of Africa. We have people from all races that will invest on the continent of Africa and make their money, make their millions, support their families. But for some reason, our own people will not even go there, will
Right.
not even invest.
Right.
And there's a lot of opportunity there's a lot of things to be done over there. I myself, I'm a business owner. I'm into entrepreneurship. I'm into investing, and I plan on taking those things over to the continent. I own a vocational school
Okay.
in Nevada. It's a medical institute,
Okay.
and those I do real estate investing. I do a lot of things. I'm an educator and an entrepreneur. And those skills, talents, and things of that nature can be utilized on the continent of Africa. So whatever we're doing here in America,
You can do there.
you can do there. So when you say tangible, a lot of things are up to us. It's only so much that a person can do, but the opportunity is there. However, people need some sort of direction because they need to know what opportunities are there. What
Right.
opportunities can I take advantage of? Okay, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people have never even been to the continent of Africa. So therefore, certain things should be presented. And I believe in 2020, those things will be presented to our people on a more in-depth level.
I like to echo what Leah said, but add a couple more things. If you go to China, if you've been to China, you will never find an African with a contract doing a road or constructing a building, given a contract by Chinese government. Here in America, you can barely see a brother running a big project. They're always a subcontractor to them.
Right.
Why should we then allow that to happen in our own continent when we have the resources? So this conference on Saturday is going to address three main pillars. One is going to discuss the value of the African Free Continental Trade Area Agreement that was signed in June, how it's going to affect all of us as diasporans and the Africans. Secondly, we're going to discuss something we're calling the BOMA link. The BOMA link is African diaspora business and professional database that can be used to develop the continent. You all have skills, African Americans and Africans that are here. We have engineers, project managers, we have accountants like me. We have every single skill we need to develop our continent. Then why do we need to hire Chinese and Middle Eastern and Westerners to come and do these things? Your project, you can do that project. We're not saying we're going to work with them. We're not saying we're not going to work with them, but we're saying they need to stand behind you. You own the contract, you sub it to them, and in doing so, you decide who's going to do the job. You need to hire the Africans who have those skills. We have tons of Africans. Los Angeles, California alone has more non-Nigerian doctors than Nigeria itself. So those guys, with proper arrangement, they can be doing their work that they want at home. We all want to go back home to a better continent that we left. Third thing we're going to talk about is a fund. There'll be a diaspora fund that we're going to have, that will be launched. This money will be raised to help do these projects. Because if you have the money and you'll be investing in it, and I'll be investing it for long-term interest for us. We have the money, we have the skills. Why do we need foreigners to do it? Africa will be trading with herself. When we start doing that, we limit foreign intervention and the aid that we get from other continents. We don't need it anymore. We can rise to the occasion and do our own thing. Long time ago, our kingdoms in Africa used to trade with each other. We were doing just fine until we were divided. Mm-hmm. When we were divided and conquered, now we are where we are. And unless we change the trajectory, we'll never get up. So those are the things we see that happening. They'll be within the concept of that. There are tons of projects like Inga Dam. Inga Dam is supposed to be a dam that's supposed to be to provide electricity for entire Africa continent and be more to sell to the world.
Where now is this where on the Nile where Egypt?
On the Congo.
Oh, Congo. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there are projects like that only we can take upon them. We don't want other people, and there are a lot of people, by the way, countries interested in those projects. We don't want to give it to them. We can do it. We have the capacity, we have the knowledge, we can raise the money to do it. Then why do we need to sell our country? When we sell these things to these other countries, they rape the continent from us. Chinese come and take everything they can as they develop these things. They go to Congo to do that dam. There are a lot of minerals. In Congo River, you can dive and get diamonds. Pretty much, that's how they mine them. Dive and get diamonds, gold. So imagine them developing Inga Dam. How much resources they can take out there? There's so much oil in Congo that that is not exploited. So we give them an opportunity to do that. We are screwed. So the deliverables are us getting our act together, strategizing properly and wisely to deliver for our continent. And you are going to be a part of that development. You are going to be part of the conversation. Come Saturday, we're going to engage at a high level to discuss those. We're working with the Afro Champions. Afro Champions are the private sector of Africa, the who is who, the billionaires of Africa. They gone together and gone organized and decided that we also want to participate in developing this continent. Other than give this project to outside world, we can put money in here, partner with diasporans, and make this fund work. So that will be part of that discussion.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button as you come to the chat room. Please hit the like button. Brother Son of Ra, thank you for the super chat. So the conference Saturday in Dallas, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you give us some more details on the conference and people who want to participate, how they can participate? And
yes, I'll do that. So the conference will actually start on Friday afternoon. Mm-hmm. We have a couple panels on Friday afternoon. It starts at 3:30. We have a panel of Waking the Giants. That's the name of the panel. We have panelists who can be discussing that element on what that really means. We are the sleeping giants in Africa. You wake us up, we're going to start doing something to ourselves. After that panel, we're going to have another panel called Rooted in Africa, Branches Around the World. Because we are, look at me. I'm from Africa. I'm all over. And
where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
Kenya, okay.
I'm from Kenya. And you are from somewhere in Africa. So is Leah. And you're all over. We're branches all over the world. and then we'll break out to have and then that evening, and we'll come back in the morning on Saturday after breakfast. We set up panels at I believe it's at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock rather, and the first panel will be transforming power of women. It'll be a women panel, and that panel will really talk about women empowerment and how they're changing the continent here and there, and how they can be empowered to even do more to support one another. Each of these panels has moderator, and they'll have several people in it. Then we'll have Africa Unite. This will be actually a speech that'll be delivered by around 10 o'clock by Her Excellency herself. Will be a first speech. She'll talk about how to unite our continent. Then about 10 o'clock, about an hour after that, we're gonna have introducing to Africa Export Import. Afroxim Bank is a bank that's the African Export Import Bank. They are sponsors of this event. They'll be talking to us about how they can support the bond. We're trying to this mobilization resources. We're gonna use that bank. Then their CEO is supposed to come, and if not, you send a representative. Then we're going to have another panel after that called the Afro Champions. Afro Champions, again, that the private sector from Africa that are chosen to partner with the diasporans to develop the continent. They will talk about their role. Dr. Edem is actually the vehicle behind Afro Champions. He's a doctor, medical doctor, and he's worked very, very hard to keep that group together. Then we'll go to Boma Fund. The Boma Fund is, again, the fund I'm talking about that will allow us to mobilize resources for the purpose of developing the continent. We have a gentleman by the name Gabe Shumba, who has a fund by himself. We'll talk about that. Then we have another discussion from Boma Link. These are the resources I'm talking about, which is mobilizing resources that can be used to develop the continent. And then from there, we're going to have another. Now we're going to then address the AFCTFA, which is African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. What it means. And there will be will be a part of that panel, but be several people that will be in that panel. Then we'll break up for a working lunch. The African Champs will be sponsoring that. Have a discussion around that. Then we'll come back, and in the afternoon, we'll have a couple more sessions on Africa Business Forum. We're going to have business people from here in the US and from Africa discussing what they're doing to facilitate business between here. There are some who are doing business in Africa. These are brothers and sisters. So they'll share with us their skills that things they're learning, how we can best work with each other. Then we have another panel on a way forward. Now the ambassador will address this issue. This is the final panel. She'll talk on herself. What do we go from here? Like, we've done this. I'm no longer the ambassador of AU. And where do we go from here? She'll intimately discuss that topic and share with you that. After that, we're gonna have a huge celebration dinner gala. So come dressed up really good. Dance we'll have a African dance, dombolo and everything. Really playing some serious music. So Prince, come on, let's see your moves. So,
I'll be in Nigeria. I head to Nigeria tomorrow morning.
You may want to talk to us through Skype, or may check how things are going. It'll be really exciting.
No. So my kingdom in Nigeria, we're having our festivals coming up, and I'm bringing a group with me. So
already, that's good.
I'll be in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Congratulations.
When is your next tour?
After this one, I'm gonna do another one. It won't be till May, but I'll be back and forth on the continent. Like I'm there every month, every other month. So
okay.
So
Benson and I may try to go with you.
Come.
Yeah.
In May.
Where in Nigeria are you going?
So I'm primarily based in Osun State. So Osogbo, my kingdom's Otoruwo, which is about 35 minutes outside of Osogbo. But I'm primarily in Osun State.
Do you fly to Lagos or Abuja?
Yeah, I fly to Lagos. So I fly direct out of New York to Lagos.
Okay,
I'm in New York now, and I'll leave tomorrow night to go.
Oh, very good. So very good. Very good. Very good.
That's awesome.
So that's the layout of the conference program, basically, from my head. There's so much I can remember, and we want you to come and be a part of this inaugural event. We plan to do many of these in the coming years.
And let me just say this: a lot of times we hear about conferences, and sometimes they don't go anywhere. They're just a conference. However,
Right.
That's not what this is about. This is kind of like an introductory conference in what we're going to happen. What's going to happen in 2020. Okay, it's time to actually take action and start doing things. We've talked about it. Everyone knows there's opportunity on the continent, but it's time to actually get busy and start, putting our skills to work. In my opinion, because I'm an investor, making money, okay, and having business opportunities, taking advantage of the business opportunities there. So, like I said before, there's nothing stopping us from going there. Yes, a lot of us want passports, citizenships, and things of that nature, but there's nothing stopping anyone, any of our people, from taking advantage of the opportunity that's there right now. Okay. And with the conference, you're able to actually ask the ambassador questions.
Can I ask a quick question real quick?
Sure.
Did it cost $200,000 to put this conference on?
No. No.
All right.
Where did you get that number?
We like to see that money used to develop the continent. This conference, actually, we're just raising funds to do it. And we got a sponsor, and then there's a registration fee for it that's going to go towards paying the food and the whole.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody's making money. We have a team of about 50 people working on this for this conference, working very, very hard, and nobody's getting paid. We're non-profit, so it's but we put a lot. We believe in our continent. We believe in getting organized, and that's the only thing it's going to get. The price is going to pay in doing so. But that's the only way we're going to get out of obscurity.
No, and the reason why I asked is just there's somebody that's doing a conference in Atlanta, and they're doing a Kickstarter trying to raise $200,000 for a conference. So I'm just, if somebody brought that up in the chat, I just had to ask. But okay. I'm sorry.
What's the name of the conference?
The Foundational Black American Conference.
Okay.
Yeah, but never mind. I shouldn't have even brought that up. I just had to just throw that in there. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Because I just think it doesn't cost $200,000 to do a conference.
No.
But go ahead. I just had to but go ahead.
Okay. No. Yeah. So no, it didn't cost $200,000. And a lot of the individuals, we work for free. Like we are committed to the cause, the mission. Okay. So the things that we do it because we believe in the mission, and I can say that we still have room for a lot of individuals that would like to join the organization and work closely with Dr. Arikana. We still have plenty of room in our region for leaders to come and bring their ideas and things of that nature. So we'll provide some links. But I do know the website that they can go to if they're interested in the conference or becoming part of the organization. They can go to
AU Region 6.
AU Region 6. 6 is spelled out. So auregion6.org.
AU Region
6. SIX.org.
Okay.
And there they will find a lot of the information. We will be updating the site frequently about, a lot of things that are coming up. So like I said, it's 2020 is going to be our year. It's enough talking. It's time to actually start doing, period.
Yeah. What, Mr. Benson, what for Black Americans who have this tunnel vision that America is the end all be on, America is the end game. Why should we get involved with Africa? Because the Chinese control Africa. The Chinese control Africa. Afrikaans in Africa. What else do I hear? White supremacy is worldwide. It's in Africa too. So therefore, there's no reason for us to even think about Africa. We'll just focus on America. For Black Americans who have this mindset, what would be your response to them?
Well, I will respond to that by asking a question to
And
you, Andrea.
here's another one. All the Africans
Yes.
call us Araucana. They call us Araucana. They don't want us over there.
Okay, so
What would be your response to that?
What do we get called over here?
yeah, so
Those are the reasons why
yeah,
a lot of Black
Oh,
Americans don't want nothing to do with Africa for some reason.
yeah, I hear the
yeah.
same thing. I
You know
I hear the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead, Vincent.
my growing up experience, I was also taught things about you
Mhm.
that were not true.
Right.
I went to school in Kenya,
Mhm.
and I knew of Black Americans. They did not look like me. That was one of the myths I was taught to me. It was not true until I met one who was actually a teacher in my school. She was Black American. She looked like me,
Right.
and it was like, I was told she was pale. I
Mhm.
didn't know what a pale meant, so I have no clue. She looked like me. But let me ask you a question. Here in America, when somebody looks at you and they ask you, Prince Dynasty, who are you? Where are you from?
Mhm.
What do you take? What do you say?
I tell them I'm a Black American Nigerian.
Okay, forget the Nigeria for a minute. You just say you're Black American, correct?
I'm a Black
Yeah.
man. Mhm.
If you ask Chinese who have never known Chinese, where they're from, or Jewish or Korean, where they're from, they very confidently say, I'm Chinese
Mhm.
and I'm Jewish, I'm Korean,
Mhm.
I'm African. We're giving you a sense of belonging. The identity that was stolen from you has to be restored.
Right.
You belong home. You have a home back in Africa where people love you. I can come into this country, I can buy a house here, and I can buy a house in Africa. You should have the same opportunity I do. And by doing so, you're gonna have a place. You go to your kingdom, they love you there. And
Oh, yeah.
they make you feel like you belong there. You don't even have to question it. You go there, you look like all of them. And they're like they're part of the society and the community. If you something, you know what happens here when one of a Kenyan dies in Dallas? Most of them don't even have insurance. We get together, and it's part of a community thing. We get together one day on a weekend, raise money to send our body home. We don't bury it here because we belong home. We send our body home, and it sounds like silly, but we're doing it because of community belonging. That body belongs back to the community, and they want to be buried there. They might have been here for 50 years, but they want to be buried home. Why? That is home. And here in America, you ask a white person sometimes, they don't want you here. They don't want to, they have no respect. Okay. So to me, my appeal is come home. We want you, become a part of the kingdom, the continent, help build it, because if you're the architect of your own house, you're going to plan properly and wisely. And some things you want a window here, a facade over here, a jacuzzi on the side, properly is your own thing. But let somebody else build your house when you're not there, no attention is given, no intimacy to that house. I'm out.
But also, Dinus,
Mhm.
I hear the same thing.
Right.
You know, why would I want to go to Africa? A lot of us don't even want to go.
Exactly.
A lot of us don't even want to visit. And they do use excuses like, well, they don't really consider us African.
Right.
I've heard everything that you stated.
Mhm.
And I think that what it's going to boil down to is that you're going to have some of us that will go and some of us that will not. Everyone is not going to go.
Right.
That's just the realization of this whole thing. Some of us are going to invest, some of us are going to be a part of the development, and some of us are going to be negative.
Right.
It's just like here in this country. Some of us are going to do what we need to do. We're going to be on our grind. We're going to have our own companies. We're going to employ people, and some of us will not. So the people that are ready and understand the cause and the mission and things of that nature, those are the people that are actually going to go. Me personally, I don't like excuses. You don't need anyone to hype you up to be a sound person and hype you up and say, you have to a lot of people, they have to educate themselves and know what opportunity is there. But some people are going to go and some people are not.
Absolutely. And guys, if you want to call in and ask a question, you guys have about 15 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys want to call in and ask a question, the email is in the chat room. Email me, searchforahura@gmail.com, and you're more than welcome to call in and ask a question. Now, Leah, you keep bringing up 2020.
Yes.
What's going on in 2020? Can you give us a hint? Like what's coming down the pipeline? You got me excited. What's going on?
I know. I'm excited too.
Uh-huh.
However,
okay.
I do want that to be something that will be introduced by the ambassador.
Okay. Well,
But
okay, you said by the ambassador.
Dr. Arikana.
But you said ambassador,
Well, so yes, she's no longer with the AU, but she will always be considered.
Okay.
You never lose the title.
She will never lose her title.
Got you.
It's just like with our presidents over here, they're always the president. Like they may be the former president, but they will always have a certain title connected to them. And she's going to have the same thing.
Got you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, if you have any questions, please call in and you guys can ask your question.
But let me say this as well.
Take your time.
There are certain things that can't necessarily be discussed on the internet per se.
Understood.
Right.
Understood.
So therefore, in a more intimate setting like the conference and things of that nature, that's when certain things will be unveiled and discussed.
Okay.
Yes. So.
No, that makes a whole lot of sense. Guys, make sure you hit that like button as you come to the chat room. And please, if you're in the Texas area, if you're in Texas, if put it like this, if you have the resources to make it to Dallas next weekend, no matter where you're at on this planet, go. Now, the information is on the AU Region 6.org
website. Okay. Exactly. They can register directly on the website. It's only $99 for the conference and the gala.
Oh, that's nothing.
Come on.
It covers lunch and dinner.
Come on. Which there aren't too many conferences and galas you can go to for that amount.
Of course not.
The organization has been fortunate to secure sponsors that allowed us to be able to pass that affordable rate down to individuals.
Right.
So if you guys have $99, come on out. It may change your life.
Yeah.
It may change your whole mindset, really.
Someone's asking, will the conference be live streamed at all?
That's a good question.
I think so. Yeah, we'll be live streaming it.
We're thinking about putting that together.
Yeah.
Benson
There'll be a fee.
Okay.
Yes. Did they have any other questions? Like we're ready to answer questions.
Yeah, but guys, if you want to call in, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat room. But if you want to call in, again, you send me an email, searchforahura@gmail.com, and we'll get you on, and you have the opportunity to ask your question. Any leads on who's going to replace Dr. Arikana yet? For those who just joined us.
There are rumors, but we're no speculation at this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was Dr. Arikana's impact, I would say, on the
phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Leah and I would not be here talking to you if it was not for her, frankly speaking. She has touched the souls and hearts of and won the hearts of diasporans here and across the pond in Africa. And there are a lot of heads of state that have really been affected by her. And she done an exceptional job. We didn't know there was an AU ambassador prior to her coming here. And question is, where do we go from here? Who comes in to replace her? And how does that person interact with diaspora? Are they going to be effective? Are they going to be serious? And they be able to talk straight to us? Because in diaspora, we want to hear straight talk. We don't want politicians talking to us, sugarcoating stuff. We don't appeal to that. That's why she related to us the most, because she was straight up.
And I have to say, as a business owner and investor, I'm the type of person that kind of follow my own lead. I don't really get involved in a lot of organizations, you know, per se, or follow individuals per se, you know, because but I can say that Dr. Arikana, her mission, her what she's striving to do, I am on board with that. And that's coming from someone that doesn't really follow individuals too quickly, you know. So, but I am definitely for the cause and for the investing and opportunities that's available there. And just hearing her speak changed my mindset as far as, okay, well, this is something that I should be a part of. And this is definitely coming from someone that kind of has her own thing going and doesn't get involved in organizations too quickly and easily.
We have a question in the chat room. How will African leaders and communities help support Black American issues here in the States? I understand the call for us to return to Africa and invest is it reciprocal? Mr. Mitz, you want to address that?
It is. I mean, where the community where I live, I'm very in touch with African Americans. In fact, for a long time, I was meeting with African American leaders in Dallas, and they were trying to bridge that gap between us, the Africans and African Americans. There was a group of African Americans from USA and folks from Kenya, Nigeria, Caribbean. We met almost for about 3 months, and we're trying to chat the way. I attended their meetings. I attend several meetings of African American. In fact, 2 days ago, I was meeting with the most influential African American in Dallas, who was a student of Dr. Martin Luther King. His name is Peter. And we have to be involved. Now, are the other Africans doing what I'm doing? I don't know. The Africans congregate within themselves because of language. They are comfortable with each other. But if you have a call to action and you tell them where to go, they will show up. They just need to know, where do we go? Because they're very action oriented. They like to get things done. And like Claire says, it's time to act, not to talk. They want to get things done. Frankly, they don't want to waste a lot of time. So, but that's most of them how they approach it.
My Bawoni, Mike.
Hey, Shalafianu. Can you hear me, Dennis?
Yes. I can hear you.
I can hear you guys. So, Shalafianu. Okay. Oh man. So my question is, the ambassador, is she gonna be at the conference in Dallas? Because I live in Texas, so I don't know if I missed it because I kind of came on late, so I don't know if I missed that part. When you guys talked about her, is she gonna be in at the conference that you guys are putting together?
Absolutely. She's
okay.
She's one of the featured speakers, but there are going to be I think 4 more featured speakers as well, but she is one of the main speakers. And like you were late a little bit, Mike. But she will discuss her next move and what's going to come about in 2020 as well.
Wow, man! When I found out about her being, fired, I wasn't too surprised, but I was kind of crushed.
Yeah,
we all were crushed, Mike. We felt the same way. She spoke to us.
But even with her being terminated, I tell people all the time, you have to be proactive. There's only so much one person can do. Okay. And in your question previously, Dinas, you mentioned, what are the leaders in Africa going to do to, I guess, welcome African Americans? I hear that a lot.
Right. And they're supposed to roll out the red carpet for us.
Let me say this.
That's right here.
Let me say this. We have to be proactive. Okay. If an individual wants to continue to live in the U.S. and travel back and forth and do business, they can. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. There's no one there telling them, no, you can't come here. They're being welcome. Okay. Now the red carpet, I don't know if they're going to see a red carpet, but the opportunity is there. but we need to be proactive as individuals. There's a lot of opportunity there. And we have a right to take advantage of that opportunity. Everyone else is taking advantage of that. So, you know, as far as like, you know, what the leaders are doing, and I would say we need to be proactive and do it ourselves. There's no one stopping us from going there. It's just like with you. You're proactive. You are saturated in everything. Like you started off going there, and now look, you know, you're to a whole nother level now. And I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you.
You know, and so there's nothing stopping us from doing the same thing. Okay.
You're right. You're right. Mike, you have any other questions?
He's on mute.
Mike, unmute you. Oh, there you go. You got any questions, Mike?
You know what I think about this the African organization? You know how they have a AU?
Right. Mike, you muted yourself. You muted yourself. We can't hear you. You muted you. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, so, sorry about that. I think that was an accident. Accidentally, you know. So what I was saying is, how they, you know, how they have the regional organization as well. You know how you have an AU and you also have the ECOWAS. You have the East African bloc. You know how they have those organizations. Okay, what I'm thinking is, I always notice that those regional blocs usually they have more. They're less more in control of the organization. Compared to the AU is more like European, it's more like Western back organization, to be honest. You know, I don't know too much about the East African bloc, but I know that the ECOWAS, they kind of had the freedom to make decisions, kind of, where they really not really much influenced by the Western, you know, government, you know, because I know very well that the ECOWAS is really run by, it's more controlled by Nigeria than Nigeria has a lot more say in the ECOWAS than, let's say, France, as far as policy-wise. So what I'm thinking is the woman, as far as the diaspora project that she has going on, I think if she can focus more with maybe, since most of the diaspora came from West Africa anyway, so if she can like more continue, like maybe engage the ECOWAS and carry on from that, you know, because as far as AU goes, AU is not really just for the black race, really. If you think about it, countries like Egypt, those Arab countries, they're part of the AU. So if we say diaspora project, I mean, those countries may come in and say, okay, what's this race thing about, you know? So there can be a lot of politics thrown in between, you know? So what I think is, if she can carry on with that, carry on with the project more on a regional block, you know, maybe deal more of do ECOWAS, you know, since, I mean, we have a case because most of the diasporas all came from the ECOWAS countries anyway.
True.
These transatlantic slave trade pretty much took place in the West African region, you know. So I think if she can do more engagement, I mean, with the West African, maybe the ECOWAS, you know, I think, and Nigeria, in fact, Dynasty, man. I mean, you guys should engage the Nigerian government, dude.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. It's being worked on.
I think Nigeria should be taking the lead as far as these diaspora, because right now, I mean, this is a time, man. I mean, we should be waking up, man. Right now, this is a time to get some. This is a time. Yeah, this is a time for the global black community to come together, you know. And I think the diasporas are very important because you guys got a lot to, as far as high opening, you know. You guys have different mentality as far as, because you guys can come over there without these. Because I mean, we had so much has happened in the continent in the past 40 years that has really divided the people in a way. So we need that like fresh identity to come there and just bring this new, you know, view where everybody can just say, okay, oh, these people here we can follow, you know. So the diaspora can actually come over there and, you know, really open everyone's eyes, you know. I mean, you guys have gone through a lot, man. You guys are dealt with this this white folks for too long. Most Africans don't really understand their experience. It's like the way we see white folks is like when they come over there, the way we see them, we don't understand their true nature. But the diasporas, you guys know them very well, you know. So that is when you talk about all these things, when you guys are doing all these shows, a lot of people in Nigeria don't really get it. They start to do research like, okay, what is
Yeah,
this racism?
but they're starting to get it though. They're starting to get it though.
And when people like us tell them, they don't like. When I go over there and they don't get it. They say, "You're Nigerian, what are you talking about?" But when they hear more from Black Americans, they like, "Oh wow, what is this thing?" Yeah, because if they really understand what you guys want people, because I'm forcing a lot of people to study history. Because one thing we don't know in that we don't do in that continent, no history at all. That's why if we know history, we see what these people have done and what they're still doing. There's no way we'll be giving them this special, treatment, looking at with these special eyes, where they can just come in and just, take whatever. I mean, controlling us, man. This is not cool,
Right.
It's not cool. And most Africans, even my uncle, I was just having a conversation with him, like, dude, because he works for, he was working, he was a Nigerian force, so he used to go on a peacekeeping mission and things like that. And he would go on a peacekeeping mission in Congo. And I was trying to tell him, why are you guys going to the Congo on behalf of, he said, oh, work for the AU. Dude, this AU is European control. You guys are fighting for them to help them get what they want from the Congo. And, all these things are stupid.
Usually with the peacekeeping missions, they're working on behalf of the UN.
Thank you. They would think they're going there to work on behalf of the Congolese, but no. You guys are working on behalf. Most of these peacekeeping mission troops, they're Africans, man. You understand? They're Africans. They'll take. You gotta understand how AU armed forces work. It's pretty much they take troops from different countries, like they'll go to a country and say, "We need some of your soldiers."
Right.
They go, so when it comes to so-called peacekeeping mission in Africa, most of the troops on the ground rolling through the jungles doing so-called peacekeeping missions are Africans, man. You understand? Because the European soldiers cannot run through African jungles, they can't survive it. You understand?
Right.
They can't get troops from England, in Germany, to put them in Africa to be running through the African jungle. They can't survive the African, they can't survive those things. So what they will do is they will say, oh, this is on behalf of the United Nations. We're making United Nations global decisions. So we need troops to post somewhere in the Congo to do some kind of peace, which is bullshit. They're not doing no peacekeeping. What they're doing is creating security route for the minerals to come out, Even during the Liberian Civil War, this Sierra Leone Civil War, most of the troops that they were using for so-called AU missions were Nigerian troops, African troops, and these guys, they don't get it, They don't understand the concept of this whole white supremacy war that we live in, where these people are just controlling shit, man. And we don't know. And most of these African leaders don't know. They don't get it either. They don't understand the concept of racism, that the world we live in, the global economic system is designed based on a race base, The white countries will get most 80% of the resources, boom, goes to the white countries. The other 10, maybe, let's say, let me not exaggerate, they dig resources from the ground. 80% of the resources come from Africa. Maybe the other 10% may come from other part of the other continents. Okay, they put it on the basket. Now they split it. 50% go to US, 25 go to Europe. The other 25 they split between Asia and Africa. Africa is on the last, it's like we get the last crump, and we don't get it, man. But if I explain something like this to a diaspora, like a Black American or a Caribbean person, you guys get it fast. You understand what racism is. But if I explain it to an African, he would tell me, come on, man, there's no race, no. It's we Africans, we're the problem. We are these, it's our leaders. And how long are we going to keep blaming leaders, man? Come on, man.
All right, man. We appreciate you, brother. We got to we're gonna get somebody else on here.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Bye, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, Jonas, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jonas, you're coming from, are you in Ghana?
Yes, I am. I'm calling from Ghana.
Okay,
Hi, Jonas.
Hi, John.
Hello. So to Sister Leah and Brother Benson, I have two quick questions. You might have addressed them earlier. I don't know. I'll probably join a bit late. So the first one is a bit straightforward. The second question is a bit more controversial. So I'm going to start with the first one. So on this conference, will there be opportunities for partnerships between Africans in the diaspora and Africans on the continent?
Absolutely.
First question.
Benson, you can probably talk about that, and you may want to mention the
what's the other question?
chamber.
What's the other question?
The second question is with regard to the letting go of the ambassador, Dr. Arikana. I have viewed her a number of times giving speeches. She's a lady that I admire very much. I believe her to be a visionary. I believe that she's sincere in her efforts. And I believe she's a good fit. She's a good mobilizer, and she inspires people to want to actually do something for the African continent. My fear was and is that she is in an organization that is very, very slow to move, slow to act, and very conservative. She's in an organization with leaders, African leaders, who are not worth, even used toilet paper for the most part, many of them. And so she was like Kwame Nkrumah. She was beyond her peers. And so I can understand that she might have ruffled a few feathers when she speaks, because she's very honest. And I said to myself that she's a visionary, not necessarily a diplomat, because diplomacy requires that you sit down with people that you don't like, look them in the eye, and lie to them. And so,
You're right.
yeah, I mean, that's what it requires. I watch American diplomats sitting down with our diplomats talking about, US and Ghana has enjoyed a long history of friendship, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you enslaved us, but that is swept under the carpet because it's in the name of diplomacy. Diplomacy doesn't require straight talking, fact speaking. It requires lies, deceit, and just basically sweeping things under the carpet that happened. So I think that she has been a victim of her straight talk, of a very candid, and I think that's why she might have gotten into trouble.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jonas, you, in my opinion, definitely hit things on the head. You and I both know that when an individual is trying to mobilize all of us as one group of people, and how strong we can be if we were all united and seen as one, what type of effect that would have on the entire world. And so when you have an individual, like you said, a visionary, mobilizing a base of people, a group of people that have not been mobilized like that before, yeah, you're going to have some adversaries. You're going to have some challenges. However, in my opinion, everything happens for a reason. And so, at this point, it's time to go to the next level. We thank them for giving her that platform, because if she wasn't the ambassador, I may have never heard of her. So at this point, it's not about us dwelling on her being terminated. I think it's more so about her going to the next level and us supporting her. And us as the African diaspora doing what we need to do as well, and not making excuses, because only one person can only do so much. So, Benson.
So first question about partnering with opportunity to partner with the African Americans. It's there, and we probably discussed this earlier. The African Americans are considered the first diaspora here in the US. Myself being from Africa, I'm born and raised in Africa, I'm a second diaspora. So the sixth region includes them, the African American. We talked about Afro-Bond, Afro-Link. These are the skill sets that we're going to put a database of skill sets of professionals, people that are African Americans and Africans that are living here, that we can combine those skill sets and use that database to develop the continent instead of trying to get other people from other countries to come and develop it. We talk about Afro-Bond, a bond that will be raised by African Americans and us and Africans to mobilize the resources to develop the continent. So it's there. I have a chamber of commerce that I've been running for 13 years, East African Chamber of Commerce, and in that we discuss these linkages and invite our fellow brothers and sisters from the Americas to come and do projects in East Africa. So that's happening, it's ongoing process. With respect to ambassador, I think she's fine. Well, you said you talked in the present, like the people she's working with as law, the AU that is, she's no longer working for them. She's going to chat our way from Saturday. She's going to share a discourse with all of us on where do we go from here. So I understand your concerns, but Our Excellency will address that in earnest.
So, so the conference is not organized by the EU.
No. The conference. I'm the chairman of that conference. I'm chairing the I chair Region 6, so I'm the organizer. Leah is on the team. She's a part of the committee members, steering committee members. So we just invited Ambassador as a speaker to the conference. And we invited Afro champions, and Afroxim Bank. We invited those people.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. We appreciate you. We'll take one last caller. Brother King Majay, officer of the damn law. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Prince Dinas. How you doing, Bawoni?
Bawoni.
Yeah, I wanted to address on three things. The first thing was the whole kicking out of the AU ambassador. It was done on purpose because before, the woman was really exposing a lot of stuff she was talking about. And I think the whole thing went so bad that she talked about how the late Margaret Thatcher's son was involved in a genocide in one of those African nations. And the whole French connection and why the French, without those 14 Francophone speaking countries, French would have been a fourth world country anyway. So, yeah. They had to kick her out. She was really exposing a lot of things that even us in the continent didn't know about. So yeah, I put a lot of her links or her link of her, reinstating back in my channel my channel I do here. The second thing is about this peacekeeping. Is all what Michael said was correct. For me, I went to military school back in Nigeria, and I have mates that have done this UN peacekeeping. It's not about protecting Africa, it's just protecting UN's interests. So, I'm so sorry for any soldier listening to this, but that's the truth. I can't help it. You guys are just doing, you're working for Crackerzoid, so you're not working for the country at all. Seriously, man, it's the truth. Like I tell my mates, and that's why most of my mates that are in the military, they all retired because they knew it was just a bullshit. The whole Boko Haram war is nothing but the CIA COINTELPRO in-house, sponsored by the Nigerian government and the US government. On a serious note, that's why a lot of the soldiers are dying, and that's why that particular part of the country, Nigeria, will keep going through that nonsense in Borno, Maiduguri. So it's people need to see the picture more. It's not just Boko Haram. It's more than that. The third thing I need to talk about here is our African-American brothers and sisters. If you want to come to the continent, come to the continent, okay? Stop saying that the Chinese are holding you back. Stop saying that the Akatas, party Akata anyway. Akata means Black Panda in Yoruba. The Akata stuff is holding you back. Or how many shots do I need to take? How many vaccinations? You don't need to even take vaccinations. Like, come on, man. Canada is my third country. I'm not taking any shot. Like, I haven't fallen sick in like 6-7 years or 5 years. Yeah. I didn't fall sick in England. I'm not falling sick in Canada. That's too cold. I didn't fall sick in Ghana back in the day when I went to Ghana when I was a 12-year-old with my dad. We traveled like from Nigeria to Ghana by road. We didn't take any shot, man. This is my third country in more than 20 years I'm living. Okay. So please. More than 20 years I'm living. Okay. So that's the thing. Like, I don't get it with all this excuse. Oh, I can't, are we scared to go? Are they lions? Are the people cool? The African superstar, she just went to Kenya. She came back. Like, come on.
She's coming to Nigeria with me. She'll be
and
there.
She's even coming to Nigeria. People say, oh, they kidnap. I'm like, seriously, how much ransom do you have? They're going to kidnap you. Dynas has been to Nigeria back and front, and many more than many Nigerians.
But you know what? I'm sorry. What's your name again? Because my screen had frozen, so I'm a little late. What's your name again?
Well, my YouTube channel, I'm the Officer of the Damn Law. My name is
Officer of the Damn Law. All right. So, you know, you made a good point. And like I said, I hear that a lot. There's every excuse in the book as far as why
Chinese
cannot. Yeah, the Chinese. Next, it's gonna be Russia. Okay. Okay.
Vietnamese. Like, what the hell?
Exactly. So those are people that make excuses. We're not going to be able to change that. You know, we're not going to be able to stop people from making excuses. They're talking about, for God's sakes, people in Africa calling us akatas. What are we being called in this country right now?
Niggers.
Okay. So I mean, you're gonna always have people that's gonna make excuses. But like I said earlier, you are going to have those people that are ready to move forward and take advantage of the opportunity. That's just where we are with everything. But you're right. You're right. You hit it on the nose.
No, seriously, on the very serious, because, you know, I did a video yesterday talking about, you know, them Chinese taking over African Negroes. And because I've been hearing that on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, you know, the Chinese are taking over.
But you know what? If they're taking over, that's because we're not taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, funny enough, the Chinese are just running away from China because they're tired of the environmental pollutant factors in their country. So they're moving to the continent. They're not coming to the West.
Right. They are going to the continent because we as a people that are here in the United States and in different parts that are spread out are not going to the continent.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the issue. That's the real problem. You know, that's why I admire Prince Dinas for doing his thing. Yeah. You know, he's not a person that's just sitting around talking about what he's going to do. He's actually doing it. And so that's where a lot of us have to get to that point.
Yeah, but you see what Dinas is doing, a lot of African Americans are still pissed. They're like, why is he going there? Like, is he anti-ADOS or is he, you know, like, it's crazy. Like, even me, I understand because I'm like, come on now. And funny enough, you see a lot of people saying that, you know, why is someone from America trying to inculcate himself into the African system? Like, what the hell? Come on now. His ancestors are like, geez, like, you can't be saying that. You know.
I mean, you know, some people call us Black Americans, African Americans, but at the end of the day, we may have been born in in America, but our lineage is African. You know, so he's just taking advantage of his
but
the
ADOS sites who want that anyway. They'll tell that no, we don't want that, Lee. We don't agree with that. So Yvette Carnell and Tone Talk to say no, we're more European than you know, the African booty scratcher can't be part of us. It's crazy, like.
Yeah, but you know what? You're gonna have those people that's gonna say those things.
Yeah,
the goal is to just stay focused. Keep going forward.
I think thank you, the Officer of Damn Law, for your comment. I think the purpose of this interview is to discuss path forward to the ambassador and actually invite folks that are around the globe to come and meet us in Dallas on this coming weekend and go over some 3 major things that we'll be discussing that involves African Americans and Africans. How we're going to unite and become a powerful force together, and what the ambassador is going to do moving forward. She's very happy. Ambassador was a doctor before, and her husband they're both doctors. They gave up, they sold their business, left a great career to be an ambassador where she makes almost nothing. So it's a huge sacrifice for her to do this, and she's very committed. I told her she did not have a job; she had a calling. And there's a difference between somebody working in the AU headquarters who has a job and is scared of being fired versus her who has a calling, who doesn't give rats about being fired because she has a calling. She's going to do what's right for the continent and for us. And so I'm glad you've been able to listen to our words and our videos. They're very, very powerful videos. I encourage you all to share with it, but more importantly, invite folks to come and be a part of this this inaugural convention with us in Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, because I do share her link of being reinstated back as the AU chairman in my channel. So yeah,
She
I do it
doesn't
all the
want
time.
that job. She does not
Oh,
want
she
that
doesn't want
job.
it. Oh, okay,
No,
okay.
no.
All right.
Would
All
you
right.
want to go off with the same boss who fired you? Hell no.
Yeah, it makes sense.
She
Yeah.
just does not want that job. It's just not in our interest,
I,
in the interest of our people, and it's a
Going to the next
downgrade.
level.
It's humiliating.
okay. Okay. That means she has to be independent and start her own thing, go on
Yeah,
a serious, massive crusade.
yeah.
I'm
This good
supporting that.
noise is good noise, but the reality is there's no way I can see her taking that job. Forget it.
Okay.
Well, I'll
Okay.
put it on law, brother. We appreciate you coming on.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, and what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. Mr. Benson, anything you'd like to share in closing?
Yes, thank you so much, Prince Dynasty Mayor, for allowing us to be a part of this show again. We really, really thank you for the work you're doing
Thank
here
you.
and across the ocean. Owning your kingdom, being accepted there, and people respecting you, and you feeling that confidence rising because you're a son of Africa and you've gone
Yeah.
home. Now, the journey has just started with Our Excellency and us, the diasporans. My word is to invite them, all the African Americans and all the Africans that are watching this show. If you're around the Dallas Fort Worth area, even in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, nearby states, fly in. And those are from far. If this is important to you, come and join us, be a part of this conversation. And we're going to have a terrific conversation. The ambassador will share our path forward. And we will, as diasporans, also give a shout out to everybody. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. We start on Friday evening through Saturday, and we're going to celebrate at the end with a lot of African dancing and American dancing. So come on, join us. We'll see you very soon. If you want more information, go to auregion6.org, or the conference information is there. We're staying at the Marriott. The hotel rates will go up on Tuesday. We have a negotiated rate of $109 for the hotel. The conference registration is $100. So come on, we'll see you soon.
It's a good deal.
Thank you very much for hosting.
No
All
problem.
right.
Leah.
Benson summed everything up. That's it.
No problem. No
Thank
problem.
you. Just thank you so much for having us on.
Oh, anytime, anytime. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Again, if you're interested in going, make sure you go to auregion6.org, register, participate, be a part of the conversation. Also, make sure you go to dynastymirror.com, like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the platform. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.
Kwaheri.
Hi.
Goodbye.